he probably had a great game.
Oh my God, you just said he didn't have a good game, and then you go, but in totality, he had a great game.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Trio of Positivity podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Chris Followed, along with Miller and Boopin. Boys, happy weekend. How are you guys doing so far?
Well, one, it's not the weekend.
Also, why was it happy?
Oh my God, yeah. Why does it feel like it's a weekend for me? Maybe because I just woke up from a nap.
Do you want to start over? It's from the top one more time.
No, I think I'm going to keep that in.
No, we're not. We're not starting over.
But yeah, how was your weekend, I guess is what I was trying to say.
It was good.
Oh, darkness, my old friend.
Until about 8 o'clock yesterday.
Well, because it was 8 o'clock, we are a Chicago Bears podcast, hoping to bring some positivity into your lives. And in this fashion, it might be hard to find. This might be one of our fun episodes that we get to deal with. You can find us on Facebook, Trio Positivity Podcast, on X at The Positive Trio, YouTube, Trio of Positivity Podcast, and we are still live on TikTok with 0 views and 0 followers, just the way we like it.
Rumor has it that that's not true.
Really?
Where'd you hear that rumor, Miller?
I have my sources.
Oh,
No,
so we're going to talk about the divisional.
As we always have on this show, the host is already spitting fiction. So wrong as usual. Great start.
I'm actually going into TikTok right now to see if we actually have something.
As he was doing that, Miller, what were your thoughts on the divisional football?
Well, no, hold on. We got
to
do the thing where we tell people what to expect this episode. So, Miller, what are they expecting this episode?
We got a big rundown of the game yesterday, diving into all of the details, talking about all the shit.
All the
therapy. And then more depressing shit. And then we'll talk about some division matchups. And then we'll wrap it up with maybe some motivational talk, inspirational talk. Anything can happen.
I stand corrected. We have 1 follower and 1 viewer.
Is that you, Miller? Is that you?
I don't have a TikTok.
Just to spite him, you got one.
I don't have a TikTok.
We got to investigate.
We're kind of all over the place.
Chris.
Let's center back down. Let's talk about divisional round of football. We had some great games in display. So, Miller, what are your thoughts on the divisional round so far before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode?
It's kind of weird not having star power in this playoffs. You've really seen pretty shitty quarterback play pretty much all around this weekend. And it's just, it's not the same. Like, you look back at like the epic games between like Mahomes and Burrow, Mahomes and Allen, and you're just not getting that this time. It's kind of weird to look at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Drake May will have an argument with you. He's been looking pretty good.
Oh, 4 turnovers? It's good? No? Man,
I mean,
if you judge Caleb by that scale, holy shit.
It's playoff football though, and they did have some actual weather in the game.
They were like so close. Like, God,
that was an horribly ugly game.
I know.
I don't know why you say like, Drake May looked good.
Drake May had
both those quarterbacks
touchdowns.
Huh?
Drake May had 3 passing touchdowns.
He also had 4 turnovers.
And the last touchdown was absolutely beautiful. Otherwise, the game would be quite different, I think. But anyway.
Okay, maybe it wasn't 4. I think it was 3 turnovers. He had 2 fumbles, I think, and an interception. He may have had 2 interceptions.
I think Stroud is the story of the game. With that defense giving him everything, man, the way he faltered, I think that's the story of the game. But kind of along your theme, Miller, do you think Roger Goodell should have like golden card that he could just give to the Bills so they are in the playoffs instead of the Knicks / Broncos, so they can be a good game in the Patriots?
See,
I don't know, that's a joke, but like...
I know it's a joke, but I'm just still stuck on the I watched the Patriots game because I watched it Sunday, and I was just sitting there watching both of these quarterbacks continue to fuck up, and I'm just like, this Broncos game may actually be a game.
Yeah.
Like they have a backup quarterback, and these two can't get out of their own way. So it's just gonna be a battle of defenses. It's just gonna be a low scoring, probably.
In like
So
NFL's bad news for them, I think like Bears being there and like Bills being there would have been. I mean, that would be such good like rating and storylines and money and everything. I think like NFL. I don't know. I would love to figure out if
I
someone has
disagree
those
with the
numbers.
Bears. I mean, the Bears draw. They do draw. I'll agree with you there, but I
I mean,
think
especially
the
this season, right? They're like
Seattle
Cinderella story.
Rams that's gonna be that's a huge game.
So it looks like Drake May only threw one interception. He fumbled 4 times, losing 2 of them. So he only got 3 turnovers to his name. But yeah, I saw the stat line of 3-1, and I'm still stuck on that throw on the side for the touchdown. That was a great throw.
I mean, that was a heck of a catch. Like yes,
Yeah.
the throw was pretty, but like God, like the chances of that catch happening are probably like freaking 5% or whatever, and pulled it off.
Yeah, I think Boop, and you kind of hit it on the head. I think the Texans was the biggest surprise for me, but also I think it's just how good Seattle looked. I think that's also something that people kind of need to keep an eye on. They looked fantastic against the 49ers. And they kind of looked like the team that deserved the number 1 seed. And playing in Seattle it's always rough. I think I don't know how true it is because it's on the internet, but I thought I saw on YouTube that the kickoff return caused a small earthquake because of the stadium, how loud it was. So I thought that was pretty cool.
They've actually played better on the road this season, at least in the regular season, than at home. So that would be the other interesting part if like Seattle 49ers had gone up there and played better, but no, they look good. You're absolutely right. I think everyone was worried about Sam Darnold with the Vikings. It was 14-3 or whatever, and then you know what happened. So like the last couple of games, they were like hoping that would happen, but no, good for him, man. Happy for him.
We'll talk more about the playoffs on the back end because we don't have a dog in the fight. So I'm intrigued to see what everyone here thinks about it. But let's get into the biggest story in Chicago sports. It was Rams Bears. Close game. It wasn't the 48-45 barn burner that I had predicted. But the 3-point deficit or the 3-point difference is kind of there, except it went the wrong way. Rams win in overtime 20-17. Matthew Stafford threw for 258. Caleb Williams, not that far behind with 257. He did have 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But boy, I don't know if I have ever yelled louder than one pass attempt in that game. So because I don't want to take too much away from it, we're gonna go straight into the best minute in podcast history.
Baby.
It's Miller's Glazing Minute, brought to you by the Trio of Positivity Podcast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, life comes at you quick, and sometimes you need to take a second to reflect. Reflect where we were at this point last year, sitting on our couch as we watched our beloved squander game after game, never winning a big one. Our generational QB getting sacked 68 times, looking indecisive and lost. A coaching situation rivaling something that has never been seen in Chicago, let alone the NFL. Fast forward to this year, we have a coach. We have a coach QB tandem that rivals the best in the league. Our quarterback, 50 yards short of 4,000, 7 comeback wins, dropped his sack rate by about 40. This team was different. The QB was different. On a weekly basis, you can see him taking steps. And at points, he looked like an MVP. Get ready, Chicago. Some fun is coming and you better get on board.
You know what? I didn't feel a lot of glaze in that. I almost feel like you got some post-nut clarity is what it feels like. I don't know. It feels kind of depressing. Boopin, your thoughts?
Oh, I was all over the place. I was telling Miller before we jumped on air. It's like I am struggling. I think as we speak through this game today, I feel like I'll bounce back and forth. It's tough, man. Like we said, no expectations. We said house money, but that's not how it works, right? It's hard to like not have expectations, and especially when the game was so close, guys. We had the ball. All we had to do is kick a field goal. We're like 10, 15 yards away. Fuck, it's hard. But what Miller said is right, right? Like there were major holes in this game, in this team that we have identified, and the opportunity is clear in front of us, but. No, thank you, Miller. That was good therapy. Much
That was
needed.
the therapy session, the Caleb Williams therapy session.
I mean, had nothing to do with the game. Like, I feel like we just went straight into Cancun mode.
Okay, so now it's Caleb's game day glazing minute.
It's always about the game. What do you mean?
Now you're just making shit
catered
up. No,
We've catered it to go into his performance. What do you mean?
I have talked about other aspects of his performances
After
outside
a
of that one
game.
game. No, I've talked about many things. I've
Oh,
talked about
God.
a sack rate. The sack rate has nothing to do with this.
Sack rate has a lot to do with it. What do you mean?
Not this past game.
Oh, God. All right. I guess if we're going to go that route, looking into Caleb Williams'
Whatever I
game,
want, bitch. It's my minute.
we're probably going to cancel this segment next season.
Okay,
he
it
threw-
went from the greatest minute
he
in
threw-
podcasting to get canceled.
We're gonna all lose all subscribers, Chris. Come on.
Our 35, yeah, right. He threw for 257, went 23 of 42 with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
You already said that.
I didn't say. Again, we're recapping his performance of the game because that's where
It was
thought we
2
were going.
interceptions and 1 punt. Remember?
You don't punt in the red zone. I think that's what you sent to me.
That is true. That's
I
true.
think that's what you said to me on the group chat. I will say for this performance, I really felt like Caleb gave us a whole season's worth of performance in this one game. When he had his ups, and when he had his downs, they were down. So I think this was the roller coaster of a game. But also, I'm not faulting everything on Caleb. I'm going to give credit to the Rams. The Rams really stopped the run in the second half that did not allow for anything to happen, to the point where I thought we were going to go for it when we scored that touchdown, to go for 2, to go for the win. And Johnson was asked, why didn't they go for 2? And he basically said, they stopped our runs. They were limited. They were limiting what we could do. So all in all, I think Caleb
It was actually more broader than that. It was the short yardage situation.
Short yardage, yes, correct. But again, he called it the 5 package, I guess, which is the 5 line in the front.
Inside the 5.
Inside the 5 or something like that. And so everyone was probably kind of questioning it. Would I have felt bad if he went for 2? No. I probably would have been completely okay with it. But also in the 4th, we did lose Loveland, who was in concussion protocol, which, man, you really felt it in overtime. It would have been great if we had him around, but
He was dropping passes all game. Good.
Doesn't
Really,
matter.
because we made it to overtime because he wasn't in the game.
yeah, but that's still his comfort level. We've talked about before how
Again,
Loveland
we
is
wouldn't have
becoming
been in
his guy.
overtime if he was in the game because Komet would not have caught that ball.
So Komet's 1 target is what you're saying made the difference.
He had 3 or 4, but yes.
No, he had more
No,
targets.
that was his
but-
first target of the game.
Was it? But then in the overtime, he had a.
In overtime, he had
two
more. But the touchdown that we're talking about, that was his first target of the game.
I mean, Caleb's performance, I wasn't blown away by it. He had, I think you phrased it correctly. I mean, the first interception, it's 4th down. He missed the throw, so the fact that it was picked again, it benefited us. But he had the guy. He overthrew him. Second pick was probably his worst one. And then the one to DJ. Obviously, we've all seen where that's gone.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, so since we don't want to get too much into this, let's go straight into Boopin stock up and stock down. Apparently, that's a thing. So, Boopin, let's hear your stock up and stock downs.
Bros, Why are you so critical of every segment here? Come up with your own, and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
He's technically come up with both of them.
All right. That's true. Okay, so
And
since
named them too.
we can't do good, better, best because we didn't win, just wanted to, look up, give props to the players that, I think helped us get to a place where we could possibly win, and some players I think that let us down in the process. Um, Greater theme, I think defense stepped up huge. We'll talk about that probably in a minute. And I think our pass catchers, for the most part, were not so great this game. But stock up, Brisker coming back, playing inspired. It might have played his last game at Chicago, hopefully not, but hasn't done much this season. Led the team in tackles, had a sack. He was everywhere. I loved this was the old Brisker we loved, that we haven't seen for a little bit this season. Another player who I loved seeing, even though the stats didn't say much for him, was Booker. He was around the ball. He was impacting the play. Another thing I want to say is like Bears had chances. The ball was tipped up in the air. If those things have gone our way all season, and it was like kind of weird to see that it didn't this game, but he was always around
Or
the
last
ball.
game.
Yeah, or last game. Yeah, even the Packers game we pulled it off. But that was another name I had to bring up. And Komet, right? That touchdown, even though Chris may hate on it, that game, that play, I hope it'll live in infamy. Man, they talk about the Bears resurgence or whatever dynasty, maybe. I want to see that play being played. That was awesome. I think the touchdown to Komet, Chris. You look confused. Just wanna.
I didn't even say anything bad about that play, so I'm confused that you would
You're
say that I would shit on it.
So you said something. Komet, this is my boy.
That it was
I
his
don't know.
first target. Is everything that I say to you a negative? Jesus.
Hey, Jesus did nothing, so don't bring
Let's
him
move
into
on
this.
to the negative players.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
negative players, Colson Loveland, usually short-handed, right? Doesn't drop much. I didn't see much officially, but like I saw him drop like 3 to 4 catches that he usually makes. He left the game with a concussion, so I really don't want to add insult to injury, but I think he had his worst game this season so far. Adunze, again, made some key passes. He has that connection with Caleb, but dropped a surefire touchdown at the goal line, which led to an interception in the red zone. So I think he's someone I was not super impressed with. And DJ Moore, our hero, our walk-off TD champ, right, has done it multiple times. Caleb's throw definitely has to be scrutinized, I think. He was covered. I think that's why he gave up on the play. Caleb was looking for that home run ball, I think. Like, he was covered. I don't know what
He
you're
wasn't
saying.
covered at all.
Like, I don't think the play was supposed to go over. He's given up. He's like, there's a safety in front of me. The play's in front
The
of me.
problem is, do we have this in the question, or are we going to talk about it now?
But I think we can. I think we can talk. Let me double check. But I think we can talk. Yeah, let's talk now. I mean, I said,
if you watch him, it's from the get go. The lack of effort. He isn't exploding out of his route from the beginning, and then he takes a bad angle. I mean, if you really look at the play and look where the safety is, there's a huge area of the field that's wide open, but DJ just takes it a little, let's just say 15 degrees more north than Caleb was expecting. It wasn't a good throw. Let's be real here. He shouldn't have thrown it. But it's really what happened. And the hate is on all DJ, and it's pretty much across the board all on DJ. But realistically, I didn't like the throw.
Yeah. Like, want to be very clear here, right? Like, yes, that DJ throw was critical in that point, but that did not cost us the game, right? Like, we had so many drops. We had so many, the ball was just everywhere. It was not falling in our hands. We were 4 for 6, 3 for 6 in fourth down plays. So there's so many things that could have gone differently. Like the Rome play, right? Had he scored a touchdown instead of interception, it's a 7-point swing right there. So don't want to say DJ Moore cost up to us the game, but just want to say that that's not the standard of play he's shown us all season, and he's won us multiple games. But that just was not. That was something didn't work right. There was miscommunication. Whatever happened, that didn't look right. So he gets a little.
He didn't talk today, did he?
He was not in the locker room for the reporter section of that.
Yeah, I know he didn't talk yesterday. There was theories that he might talk today, but
like
I don't think he did.
The rumors on the street is he's played his last down as a Bear. Like not Bears rumor, but like the podcast I listened to, they're talking about it's like it might be the end for him. But I hope not. But that's what I've heard.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of the catches that he's made in the postseason and the last couple weeks have been clutch with him. So I don't necessarily think it's a down just because of one play. I mean, even in the game, he played very well. So
I mean, like I think
I'm a bit surprised that we would knock him over just one play.
Like
where...
I think down because of like what it represents, right? Had he caught that ball, had it not even been an interception, had the play gone on, we could have kicked a field goal to go into the divisional round. And for a player of that caliber who's like shown so much all season, it was very uncharacteristically.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you just because there's a lot of plays in this game that, not to Caleb, not to DJ Moore, but just as a team as a whole, had we done stuff different, we probably would have gone with the win without going to overtime. There's a lot of mistakes that this team made, even on the offensive side, but also the Rams took away the run. And so when you take away the run, you're limiting that play action where we've been very good at. And I'm sorry to say this, but even that touchdown to Komet, yeah, great throw, great everything, back foot, 45-yard or whatever you want to call it. The Rams ran through the line. Caleb was being pressured. And so we could have easily said he could have thrown that somewhere else, and we could have been like, oh, he should have thrown it this or that. Like, there's a lot that you can pick at, but I honestly don't think DJ Moore had a bad game. I don't even think that last play, when I looked at the replay, it genuinely looked like he didn't realize the ball was out. That's to me what it looks like. There was one angle from the end zone where you see him looking at Caleb. He's looking, but he doesn't realize the ball's coming to him. So that's the only thing I can say in defense of DJ Moore.
I honestly, your focus on the run is a little annoying, but like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, his first touchdown catch of this game was fantastic. It was a great catch, and it was a 4th down play. If we don't hit that, it's not even relevant. So I kind of agree with the fact that I don't think DJ Moore should be a down here, just because of that one play.
If this is DJ Moore's last game as a Bear, I would be disappointed just because of what I've seen the last couple weeks.
I'm really torn because I've been thinking that it's his last game, and realistically, up until like week 13, he was essentially irrelevant. Like he had a few games. I think he had 1 or 2 games where he like went off, right? But like for the most part, he has been irrelevant in this offense, and then ever since that Packers game where he came down
even a little bit before that, Miller, the Adunze injury.
I mean, he had like 2 games before.
But what I'm saying, you can see his usage increase when Adunze was out. Like,
obvious, yeah. But it wasn't huge. But it wasn't like your typical DJ. But it's just like ever since that Packer game-winning touchdown, it seems like he's been more of a focal point.
Yeah, more practically, his cap hit is like 30 mil, I think, like somewhere in that range, you know. And truly, we can use that.
But I was reading something today. Stop talking. I was reading something today that they basically said that they can turn a majority of his contract into bonuses, so it's irrelevant to the cap. So they can save money with his contract anyways. But we're going to get into that on a later date.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Let's see who wrote this question. There's been a lot of talk about how great the defense performed in this game. Do you feel like this is what we can expect moving forward? Or was this a blip in a sea of inadequacy in
You like
recent
that?
weeks?
You like that? No chat GPT with that one.
And fuck, I don't even know if I pronounced that one right.
You did
You
well.
did.
You did
Thank
well.
you. You know what? I'm going to answer it. I think the scheme and everything that I saw looked great. I do miss the turnovers, though. So, can I say that this team relies on the turnovers? Probably, but this defense looked pretty damn good compared to the first week of playoffs. So, I will probably say, depending on what the Bears decide to do, yes, I think this is something we can expect moving forward.
Interesting. That your answer was all over the place.
I don't know. I don't understand football. I think we just blitz more now since for the last 2 quarters against the Packers in this game, and that's changed the game. I just don't understand. Like, are they not expecting us to blitz? I don't understand how we like. I think what we're doing, we're probably playing man with Jalen Johnson on one side, I think, and the other side is like, safeties over the top help kind of a play. That's the only thing I can think of because I don't understand how we stop Puka and Devontae. That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know why we did well. But dude, props to them. Like, Rams were like one of the best offenses. They were averaging like 30.5 points per game. Like, Stafford is having an MVP season. For them to like hold them to 20 points, like, it's been amazing. It's been interesting. Gives me hope, right? Well, we can load up on some talent, scheme. Dennis Allen gives me hope, man. I know. See, like, we wish the results were different, but this gives me hope.
Yeah, I'm really torn. Obviously, whatever happens in free agency and whatnot could change the answer here, but I'm really hard pressed because I can see it. You got Kyler Gordon back. He was first game back last week. He had all week. We got CJ back this game. You could really see the defensive backs play extremely well. And I think when you do apply a little bit of pressure and you also have back coverage, it really makes you look good. But in all honesty, I mean, Puka played like a little bitch. Like, he was like on the sideline, like every time they fucking zoomed in on him. I don't know if he was cold. I don't know what was going on with him, but he did not look like himself.
He's having an interesting year. Like, all the distractions he's bringing to that locker room, I think it'll be talked about if the season doesn't go all the way for them, for sure.
Like, I want to say Matt Stafford was affected by the cold as well, but I really think Puka did not handle that cold very well because it was like every time they were looking at him after a play, he was on the sidelines. Now, granted, I haven't cared too much about the passing game for the Rams, but I remember him being on the field a little bit more than that. But as far as the defense, I don't know. I do think it's a blip, and then hopefully we can get this figured out. I mean, we just haven't seen a long enough track record of success with this team, especially when it comes to pressure. But maybe this is a blueprint that they can carry forward.
I genuinely think they were like, listen, we suck at man coverage, so what can we do? And they're like, well, we could blitz and possibly force more turnovers so we don't have to go too much into man coverage. So they basically traded one evil for the other. And they were actually successful in this game to produce that amount of pressure. Puka did have 10 targets, but he only caught 5. So I think he also had a couple like run plays too. Not a lot, but they used them.
Yeah.
I think they used them a lot. And also, I genuinely don't think the cold was as effective as people think it was. I think the Rams team was kind of ready for it. They had fucking chicken broth on the side, so they kind of knew what they were doing. Yeah, but it didn't really affect. Did you really notice a difference?
I mean, they scored
that
20
offense
points
looked
after.
shit.
I know after like overtime, they scored 20 points. They scored
That's
30
like the
routinely.
best offense in the league, and they came in here against probably one of the worst defenses in the league, and they got shut down. And you think it's just a miracle that the Bears did it?
I think for what it was, that the cold didn't really affect either team. I don't think it was like there was an advantage of it.
Are you saying cold didn't bother them anyway?
Oh God. Next question. I don't know why we're going into this question, but sure. When Ben Johnson came to Chicago, we knew that he was going to bring Dan Campbell's aggressive play calling. The Bears were 3 for 6 on 4th down in this game, leading to points being left on the board. How do we feel about his aggressiveness? I'm sure, thinking back on it, we probably could have kicked one. That's the only thing I could think of. I think there was one that was in the red zone that we probably could have kicked it. I do believe one end was worse than the other for kicking. I think they said that there were swirling winds coming from one side. I think it was towards the south. I can't recall if that's something that I've seen when I've been to Soldier Field, if I've noticed the wind kind of affect that end more than the other. But I think I'm more or less disappointed that we didn't go for it on the last offensive play in
Point
regulation.
conversion.
Yeah, I think that's where I was like, we probably could have gone for it there, but on his 4th down aggressions, I don't know. I'm kind of meh. I was okay with it. Didn't really notice it.
Mathematically, I've seen anywhere from 4 to 6 points being left on the board, depending on our probability to score a field goal, blah, 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 blah. But I think more importantly, I think they had our number. Like McVay, had a clear game plan, our 4th down plays. We were converting at a 51% rate all season. And this game we were at what?
50.
Was it 3 for 6? 2
Mhm.
for 6? Yeah. So they had a game plan. They fucking shut us down. And that's why we didn't go for 2, Chris.
How'd you get to 4 points? That's what I want to know.
I've seen 4, I've
So,
seen 6.
Okay, you should have had me start since I had this fucking shit ready. Okay,
Okay.
so first off, to me, the only one that you can really question the 4th downs was the initial drive. That is really, in my opinion, the only 4th down that you can really question. It was in the red zone, so it was close enough for a field goal. And you also, I think it was 4th and 2. And you also had some momentum at that point. But I understood the play call. We all thought, Vegas thought, everybody thought they had a 50 over under in this game. You thought points were going to be scored. You're 4th and 2 at the 20. Understood him going for it there. I did. I didn't fault him for it. I would have loved points, but I was also like, fuck it, let's go. The next one that occurred that we didn't get, the next drive, we had a 4th down, and that was the goal line. So we got a touchdown on that. So if you're looking at it, 4th downs. You had a 4th down that you didn't, or that you went for it. You could have had 3 points there. But then in the same turn, the 4th down where we got the touchdown, that if you didn't go for it there, that would have been 3 points. So those two would have been 6 and 7. 6, 7? I didn't plan that, by the way. But that's 1 point in Boopin's hypothetical situation. And then the other one was the other 4th down where it was 4th and 1. We ran it the first time on 3rd down. We ran it again on the 4th down. We didn't get it. I think that was a 50-yard field goal, though. 51. And that would have been another hypothetical 3 points if we got it. So that's how the 4 points in that scenario are there. I really thought that all of they were aggressive. This is who Ben Johnson is, but I really thought that most of these situations, he didn't do anything completely off the wall crazy. In every instance, they were understandable from his aggressive point of view, which we talked about way back when, and my mind has shifted to it is what it is now.
The way I calculated it is we had 6 chances. Every chance was a field goal. 6 threes are 18. They scored 2 touchdowns, so 14 points. It was 18 versus 14. That's why the difference
Was every 4th down in field goal range?
No.
I believe so.
I don't think so.
No,
and
I don't
pretty
think we
much said the
converted
reason
any.
that they didn't go for the first one was because of the winds going to the south, which was
No,
the first.
that wasn't.
That was way
the
too
first-
close, I think.
That was the first drive.
That was like a 37-yard.
Yeah, that would have been very close.
Winds wouldn't affected that much.
God. I hate when you guys are wrong because you guys never accept when you're wrong.
So winds affect Of course, wins affect it.
Yeah, no,
But
no. Go ahead. Wins affect
37-yard
kicks.
field goal?
Yes, Miller. Wins affect kicks.
If you can't
Yes.
kick a 37-yard field goal with wind, we shouldn't be having this conversation. Moody should be our kicker then.
Right.
Oh, we got shut down.
I don't know why we're talking about this again. We haven't even
Why do
really
you
gone over the
start
game.
every question?
Because these questions are horrible. I'll say it. These are
Then
awful.
make them up.
But yeah, next time come prepared. and
None
make
of it
your own
was for the
questions, sir.
game. None of it's for the game.
Chris, ask your question. Fucking audible right now. Ask your question. What do you
Audible?
wanna
We
ask?
talked about the
Yeah.
defense. We talked about the fourth down aggressiveness.
No, ask. I'll give you fucking out right now. Audible. Ask a question.
What
What's
is the
on your
question?
on your mind, buddy? What would you like to talk about?
What would I like to talk about?
Yes.
How is this not relevant?
Again, because this is
These
nothing
are
with-
all the talking points that have been
Miller,
all
shush.
over
Miller,
social
shush.
media, the national
Shush.
media.
Miller, shush. Okay, Chris, go ahead. Your moment to shine, baby. What do you want now?
Well, see, now that you put me on the spot, let me see. Oh, yeah. The run game.
Okay.
Where was that for the Bears? Where do you guys rate the run game this game?
Yeah, that's a great question. So
There you go.
saw-
Didn't even have to look at an agenda for that one.
We
Well,
just support you.
I mean, we want you to look at the agenda. We support this. That's why we're answering this question. I don't know if you paid attention, Chris. Most of the runs were to the right because we had a makeshift left tackle who played amazing. by the
No,
way.
not all of them. No.
Tooney
There
was
was
left
some.
tackle?
Manan guy
not
got
wrong, but
Manan
he
guy
said
got stopped.
most. He didn't say all.
Well, okay, fine. I'll give you that. But the stops
mean,
that I'm
like-
thinking of was in the middle and on the left.
Yeah, so like majority of the runs were on the right, and we have
As
done
was
this
pointed
before.
out multiple times on the broadcast. Good job,
broadcast
Boomer.
too. Yeah, I know, but so I think I know he played well. Like to his credit, Tooney played really well. But I think you have people that are jumping in and on a roll. It's new. I think just to be fair, we did that, and I don't know. After a while, they can probably they can do better at shutting it down once they see that's how you're doing. I think that was part of it. I don't want to give it all the credit, but I'm praying that's good. And to be fucking honest, Grams have a pretty awesome defense. Okay, we're not going against Crubs and got fucking shut down. We did our best against a pretty good line. So like that.
I
That's
think
why
the
run
line
game
play was great. Would you guys have seen anything different from the O line, given all the talk in the week with the changes that were coming in? I thought they performed great.
But I think it limits them because there's new people coming in. I think the whole playbook is maybe not available because it's like a lot of timing plays, a lot of I think that's my opinion. I don't know.
Can we
Miller, what do
stop talking about the run game? What more are you looking for? The running backs went for over 100 yards. With Caleb Williams, we got 160 yards.
Yeah.
Together with everything, we were over 4 yards a carry. The running backs themselves were at 3.5.
Well, Miller,
So
I didn't realize it was over
your
100.
focus on this running attack is out of left field.
hang on.
What do you mean?
Hang on. We went over
when-
100 yards. We should not be talking about this.
We had 160 yards on the ground.
Yeah, but it was non-existent in the second half.
So now we're taking this fucking thing by halves and halves? Like,
Yes,
you look
'cause
at
that's
it
when they got most
collectively.
of the stat. What do you mean? Miller, with the stat whore that you are, you would be looking into this.
I don't look up quarters, success in quarters. I look at the totality. And I don't agree with you that it was all in the first half.
Okay, so did Caleb have a
you
good
know-
game? Because you look at totality, did Caleb have a good game?
What?
We said
I
he did not.
I already
Both of us
said that
said we did.
he didn't have a great game.
Okay.
And if you look at Caleb as a whole, he probably had a great game.
You
Because of the
just,
fact-
oh my God, you just said he didn't have a good game, and then you go, but in totality, he had a great game.
He
It's
had
one or the other.
200. He
It's
had
one or the
200. I said in totality. Throwing the ball,
the
I don't think he
season.
had a great game. But if you look at what he did in the second half, he basically willed us back into
But
this
you
game
just said
because
you don't
of his
look at
legs.
things in halves.
Because of
Miller,
his
Miller.
legs. He just
No.
he
You
had-
just said you don't look at things in halves.
Miller,
now you're
you-
saying in
you
the second
just-
half
you
he did.
just-
You can't have it
Dude,
for one
I'm
way or the
trying
other.
to make my point. You're telling me that you want me to make my point, but you're not allowing me to make my point. Like
Okay,
I
go
said,
ahead and make your
throwing
point.
the ball, Caleb did not have a good game. In totality, if I'm going to include his rushing, he carried us in the second half with his legs. So overall, I don't think Caleb's throwing game was that great with his interceptions. He missed several throws that he should have made. But if you incorporate the rushing that he did in the second half, it was a good game overall. He accounted for 300 yards. And
Okay,
then
but
you put that
so
Caleb's
let me.
rushing yards into the equation, even though you said they didn't run the ball in the second half, but Caleb had a majority of his rushing yards in the second half. Because
Okay,
again, if you actually listen to the game, the announcers said that multiple times that they were surprised that Caleb didn't use his legs. And then he
right.
started to in the second half,
But we've
including a
said that
25-yard rush.
we've
So
said
you
that
can go
for
fuck
the
yourself.
last.
The
We've said that
rushing-
for the last couple weeks. Why hasn't he been running the ball? So let's not act like it was a one-game thing. Now, you just said that you don't look at halves, but then you say that Caleb had a great second half. Why can't I say that about the run game, but you can say that about
Because I
Caleb?
was taught. Because you brought up a bullshit point about judging. Did Caleb have a good game? So I was
'Cause
explaining.
with the whole game.
I was explaining my point when talking about the totality, including the rushing yards.
Okay, Chris, do you feel better we answer that question?
Yes,
Here,
because
can
Miller
we
was
go back
wrong
to
again,
the-
per
It's
usual.
trash.
Can
We
we
had
go back to the regular?
160
How you
yards
find-
on the ground, and you saying we didn't have we had a shitty rushing game.
I said the Rams figured our rushing game out, that we couldn't even run it on.
160 yards on the
Oh,
ground is
God.
figuring it out.
Yes.
Chris,
if you look at
we
the second half,
dominated.
yes.
We dominated every stat out there.
Oh my God, here
we
we
were
go
better
with
on
these
third downs. We had
delusions.
time of possession.
If you
Like,
look
you-
at the second half, the Rams figured out the run game. That's what I've been saying the whole
Stats to
time.
back this up.
I can look it up.
Please,
Yeah, please do.
I would love
Okay.
to know
Okay.
how many
Hey,
rushing
Chris,
yards we had
as
in the
you're
second
doing
half.
this, hey, as
You go
Chris
ahead.
is doing this, Miller,
ahead.
let me ask you this. You know, there's been a lot of top plays this season. Like, God, we are the king of fucking heart attack and heartache. Michael Jordan play on the fourth, last game. This Hail Mary against the Rams. Is there a play that stands out to you when you think of this season? Maybe the playoffs. Focus on the playoffs.
I was really hoping not to go first here. In my opinion, the 4th and 8 play last game was one of the best throws he's had. I remember I didn't even like it. I mean, I liked it, of course, but I went with a different play last game just to be a little different. But if you're comparing the play this week versus the play last week, I really like the 4th and 8 better. I thought that was in all totality. Again, I thought that was a better play. I thought that was a real play. Like, I didn't think that this Hail Mary was an actual play. And I'm just laughing at some people that are talking about this play like it's an actual play. He just ran his ass backwards and threw that ball up into the end zone. Like that was basically a Hail Mary. And I don't want to take anything away from it, but the 4th and 8, in my opinion, that was all skill. That was perfect. That was thrown to perfection, caught, awesome. And this one was just, we're going to run backwards, throw it up. The DB took a horrible route because he doesn't know how to play baseball. And Cole Kmet, a former baseball player, I believe, in high school, got under that and played that beautiful.
Miller, I can't believe you're asking me this question. You're asking me to name my favorite child. I just love them all, man. Like the 4th down play, the 4th and 8, this Hail Mary. Like truly, like this Hail Mary, even though you are hating on it, I think it'll be one of those plays that I'll be watching like in NFL highlights for a long time. I think personally. I could be wrong, but I think it will be one of those plays. I hope so.
I mean, I agree with you. I think it will be based on the immediate attention it is. I'm just like don't get me wrong. It was a Hail Mary. I'm just laughing at the people that are just like, man, that play was ran so well. Caleb was just waiting for Kmet to get open on that route. He ran it so, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, he fucking wasn't. He was just all over the field, and he just threw it up.
Chris, do you have one that comes to mind?
I like the Packers one better. Aesthetically too, you can definitely create a T-shirt off that throw.
Like people are getting tattoos already.
I think that's way too much. I think it was just a great throw. I don't think it's iconic. Like Miller was saying, I think the O-line just said whoops and they let the Rams come through, and Caleb was running for his life, and then I think he was aiming for the back pylon, and Komet was there. So I mean,
it was a 4th down play, so it's probably all out blitz, right? I don't know if like they really let people go.
Sure, but you still got to give credit.
Pressure.
Yeah, like you still got to give credit to them for forcing a throw like that. I think most of the times when you see a throw like that, it gets thrown out of bounds, or
it's just so hilarious because it's like he got so fucking lucky on that. Because like otherwise we'd be sitting here talking about that Burton play, or I think it was Burton or whoever. I think it was Burton, and he just airmailed him on that corner route at 4th and like 3rd and 5 or 2nd and 5 or something. And then he just comes up with this miracle, and it was like Chris said, it was just crazy. So exciting. I'm down here. I'm like, holy fuck! Well, I'm trying to be quiet because the boys
couldn't
are
believe
sleeping.
I genuinely couldn't believe it. And one thing too is like every quarterback was like he just threw it off his back foot for 45 yards. That I think is what is more impressive than the whole play as like a whole. I think people are just kind of like saying like, no, he back-footed to go 45 yards. I think that's impressive. Would I say that these are memorable? Maybe. I don't. But I don't know if it's like. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more coming. I don't think this is it. I think there's going to be more that will be had of that.
It's just crazy.
I am hoping they're not cardiac bears next year. I hope we just put teams away in the 3rd and 2nd quarter.
I think in the future, when the season's over and we kind of see all the teams play, and then we kind of talk, and I think we do have to figure out like what can we expect. And I'm sure we'll talk more about that. I have another question for you guys. Because I'm so good at questions on the spot here. In our group chat, there seemed to be some disagreement about what is considered a catch or a drop if the ball hits a wide receiver on the hands. So I want to hear what you guys think. I already know Miller's position. So Miller, if a receiver gets both hands on the balls, you're saying what?
They should catch it.
And I believe, well, actually, we all are kind of in the agreement of like, if there's fingertips on it, you're not going to be able to catch it. But I think there was a couple plays that there was a couple fingertip plays that I saw where I'm like, oh, that seemed to be kind of over the head. I don't know if that's the one that Miller was particularly talking about.
I don't remember seeing any fingertip one.
There's one. I probably would have to go back, but I think it was an overextension where it just seemed like he was throwing it further than it should.
I definitely didn't consider that a drop.
Okay, good. That's what I was gonna say. So fingertips were okay.
I mean, it depends. If you have the one hand on the ball, I'm not going to expect you to catch it. If you have 2 hands on the ball, I expect you to catch it. Loveland twice this game, at least that I remember directly. Caleb threw a bad ball, and I fully admit Caleb did not play the greatest when it came to placing the ball. One was on his back hip. He had 2 hands down there. You got to catch the ball. It's behind you. I understand it, but catch the fucking ball. And then you had Rome right through his fucking chest. And then there was another Loveland play where, again, it hit him on the backside, again, behind him. Not the perfect throw, but again, 2 hands on the ball, and it hit his body. Like, you can't drop these, especially in the playoffs.
That Rome one hurt. I'm not going to lie. That was a 7-point swing right there.
Yeah. All right. I figured Boobin would have more to say on that, but I guess not. So let's go into the next point, which is why I thought about the question, because I don't have a lot to say about this topic, but I know that the internet's going crazy with it. So the definition of a catch is come back front and center. There's been 2 games that have had 2 plays happen where there was a catch, no catch with Brandon Cooks for the Bills game, and then this other one with Devontae Adams. What are your guys' thoughts on each call? To kind of give a TLDR, the Cooks play, both players had possession of it, but the defender came out with it. Well, they both had possession. Like, there's no way you can say that they did. No, they both had possession.
He didn't even have a hand in there.
He did.
He had one hand in there?
Yeah, he had one hand.
He didn't have both hands.
I don't think he had either hands, but like as he was going down, the ball started moving, and that's when like
to me okay, so this is let me clarify myself. To me, when possession is if you have something like this and you're kind of like tumbling, to me that looks like possession. Now, yeah, you're going to use replay and define. If you're looking at it live, to me it did look like they both came down with it live. So that's why, to me, I'm saying they both had possession, and because the defender came out with it, they called it an interception. Now here with the Davante Adams, they're saying his knee was down, so he's down by contact, but as he was going down, the ball was stripped out, and the Bears had possession. That's the whole discussion about where does possession start.
I could be wrong, and I'd want to be a homer and say that they got it wrong.
Then, if you're talking about
but here's the difference between the two plays. Davante's ball, his ball was not moving. His knee hit the ground. Plays dead. The plays down. The other play, the ball, he caught the ball. I agree, but then as he was going down, before he was down, like the ball started moving, and then the defender ended up with it. So the ball was technically moving. So like that's what I think is the difference between the two calls.
Here's my scenario, and this is something that we've seen multiple times. We saw it with Megatron where they were changing the rules there too with his touchdown. My thing is that it's if Cooks goes down with it on his knee instead of his back, he would technically have possession. So we're basically saying that the knee is more prominent than the rest of the body.
No, I think if you're just talking.
But do you see what I'm trying to say, though, Miller? Like,
yeah,
you get my thought process?
But I think it's all. I haven't seen the view that Boopin's talking about. I have not seen the ball get loose early for the Cooks play. I'm going to be honest. I have not seen that yet. To me, it looks like Cooks grabs it with both hands. He's going down. The defender has his arm in there. Yep. When Cooks hits the ground, I think that could be when the ball gets loose.
Yes.
But the
that's when the defender grabs
it. Fumble, right? Like we know that.
That's
like,
the question.
It's not a fumble.
No, I think the ball was moving before he hit the ground. I think
if the ball's moving, I think it's a fairly open and shut case. But no, it's not, the ball never hit the ground, so it wouldn't be incomplete. Yeah. But I haven't seen the ball moving before he hit the ground, and I think it was just like taken at the moment he hit the ground, it loosened because obviously he's running full speed and hits the ground. Davante one, I think it's funny that these are even getting compared, because I thought his was pretty open and shut. Like he has the ball, he had the ball, he's going down, his knee clearly hits the ground before the defender even gets the arm in there, and then the defender gets in.
The argument is the process of a catch, and that's where I think people are kind of stuck on it. Where
it is a weird technicality. Like, there was another ball, and then you have to catching the ball is not catching the ball. You have to catch the ball. You have to it doesn't.
2 feet and a football move.
Right, and a football move. But it's like yes, it on to a layman to quick plays. Yes, that was a catch, but no. There's 4 other elements that have to happen. And I'm with Miller. I think I want to be a homer and be like, we got fucking ripped. No, we didn't. I think Davante's call was absolutely correct.
But there's no other way. And I'm looking at this more from the Bills side, because the Bills, I think you can make the argument for either one. You can say that Cooks had possession, got down, and is down by contact the moment he hits and the ball comes. You can make that argument. And so the process of a catch, there is no football move being made. You're just tumbling down. So at what point as a defender, if you have your hand in it, and this is why, again, I say the process of a catch, if you look at it in real speed, they both make a catch. So who comes out with it? That's a different argument.
Even but if we're trying the to ball say, counts as a football move, right, Miller? And that was, I think, the Des Bryant or one of those rules was
that was.
If you top the
but
ball,
not to this extent where both have some sort of possession on it. That's where I think the argument comes in, is that can you say one hand is possession? Yes, you can. People make one-handed catches all the time. But
Mm,
can you say in that scenario that one-handed catch that he pulls then off of Cooks is the real catch? I'm more of, if Cooks came down with it with both hands and then it starts to wiggle its way out and we're going to give the possession to the other guy because it didn't touch the ground, that's where you're going to start losing a lot of the wide receivers, because they're like saying there's no football move. It's either the ground is causing it or this other person's going to cause it, and we're going to give him the ball because he came out with it. Imagine if that happens and then there's another player that comes in and hits him and then the ball is loose again. Like, I feel like it can turn into something that is just not, it's not going to even be discussed as a catch.
In all fairness, there was a very similar play earlier in the year. I thought that's where we will get to with this question, where I think it was the Tampa Bay tight end that had the ball. His knee was down. It got ripped off and was ruled an interception and a touchdown. I think that's the play that is in question more than the Brandon Cooks play with Devontae's play. That's what I thought we were going to go with this.
yeah,
But
these are those two that
yeah.
have been
Yeah, but you know
all
what,
over being
the one
compared. But
catch that I saw, and sorry Miller, but the one catch that I saw over the weekend was, I want to say it was the Houston Texans. He makes the catch, one foot is down, and you think you're going to see the other foot come down, but his hand is already touching the line out of bounds, and they said that it's incomplete. So then the argument is, should he have fallen onto his knees to not to try to make a football move? But no wide receiver would ever think, as soon as I'm catching this, I'm gonna just come straight down. Like, that's not gonna work either. So there's a lot of catches that I think are gonna get looked at next year if this happens again, but in the sense of the ball wiggling. If we see a wiggle, you're going to see all eyes on, well, what's the process of a catch then?
it's just so tough. I think, honestly, I think they both got it right. And to be honest with the Bills game, it's just like I would almost like rather remove the refs from the situation, and that's essentially what happened, right? Like I think the Bills got, or the guy, the Patriot, who were the fucking playing? Jesus, the guy
Houston.
had Houston. It wasn't Houston. That was the Patriots.
Yeah, you said who played Patriots.
No, it was, whoever in the Bills game. The defender had his arm in there. I don't think he had control of the ball. I don't even think he was really holding the ball at that point. I just think once he hit the ground, no viewpoint,
Grabbed it.
that ball probably came loose a little bit because he's falling to the ground. It came loose, grabbed it, walked away with it. Fuck it. It's good. Let him do it. That's what happens. It wasn't like he held the ball forever. I mean, and then he hit the ground, and then I didn't mind it. Like, you kind of like having the refs removed, especially with how shitty the refs have been this year.
I mean, at that point, do they give everything kind of like baseball does, give it to New York kind of deal and let them figure it out?
Well, I think that was one of the issues with the Cooks play, was the fact that they didn't do a true review. They relied on New York's called confirming the interception rather than having the lead ref go take a look and talk with.
So, but I think it was confirmed. Did they say if it was confirmed due to no video evidence to prove otherwise, or because that was the call on the field, or did anyone recall?
I think they said
So
New York. It was confirmed
I
by New
believe
York.
what happened was they called an interception on the field,
Yeah,
and then
it's an automatic
did like
review.
a automatic review, and New York came back and they told the ref that it was confirmed via replay.
Okay.
But McDermott, RIP, now fired, he
Oh,
wanted
God, yeah.
he wanted to at least have the lead ref go take a true review of the call rather than just relying on New York, because you don't know what New York's doing, right?
Mhm.
You don't know how thorough that situation is. But
This would be the one great time where the XFL, they had refs talking during the review. I would not be surprised if in 2 or 3 years you see that come to fruition. Good discussion, boys. That was actually, I felt that we would have more discussion on the Bears game itself, but I felt like that was a lot better.
all of the
catch.
questions were tied to the Bears game.
Not all of them, but
No, I think, Chris, your question really helped the depth of the conversation, I think.
Thank you. See? God, I love you guys so much. Positivity score recap. We went into the playoffs with these scores. Our first time ever going into the playoffs. Miller was at a 9.5 with Boopin last week. I was at a 9. Boys, the season's over now. I see Boopin score. I always see Boopin score by accident first, so I'm gonna go first. I am content as content can be. Keep me at a 9. Great overall season. This game could have gone either way. There's some questionable stuff in the second half, but I think given the stakes that we had, I'm fairly content. And also, I want to add one point. Kudos to all the fans at the game when that game was over and the players were going into the tunnel. They were cheering them on, saying hell of a season. There was no boo birds going around. So shout out to everyone that attended Cold Soldier Field for that game. Thank you guys very much. Hell of a season, ending it with a 9.
Yeah, I will concur with that. I'm going to drop from 9.5 to 9 because they had a good season. I can't take too much away. I thought about going down further, but at the end of the day, they did win a playoff game and they also beat Green Bay. So they made some noise in the playoffs. It's not like they folded. They weren't the frauds that everybody claimed them to be the majority of the year. They showed up, and especially in this game, defense played outstanding. Don't know where that came from, but it played outstanding. And the offense let us down. But 9 is a solid score for them for this season.
No, props to you guys. I was at a 9.5, like Chris said. This loss has been tough on me. Like I don't know. I was the one saying the season was already a success, but still facing the reality that we lost, and especially the way we lost, like we were so close. Like that hurt me extra. So I'm gonna be extra petty, take a whole point off. I'm ending the season at 8.5.
Boys, it's a hell of a season to think that we were going to go into the positivity score with the Bears being involved in the postseason. So I think this is my fault, but we'll do it on the podcast anyway. I think I did want to make this final game or final thoughts on the season as a whole. I thought we should have made it our own separate episode, but I think we can kind of talk bits about it.
Just a small.
Yes, just if you were to give us the
Not
final
a paragraph
thoughts on this game,
sentence.
Yes, if you were to give us the final thoughts on the game and the season as a whole as one sentence, Boopin, we'll let you go first because I see the fucking biography that you wrote down there.
No, run on.
Okay. It's easy. 1, maybe 10 words. Okay. How do we play when we are expected to be better than this, and with the first place schedule? That's what I'm looking for next season.
You did say expectations.
Did I say expectations?
This season. Did you? No, I meant you said you did say this season, right?
I said the season as a whole. Yes, I did. Okay. My mistake, but
I don't know if you. I don't think you said expectations.
I don't think I said expectations either. But you know what, Boopin? I love you for that. Sure. We'll give you a pass.
Okay. With the ups and downs and the claims of frauds, I'm happy to know that this team overachieved and made noise in the playoffs. I'm going to repeat essentially what I just said. That is my take.
I think we were our own worst enemy, but also our own best friend. I think that's a great way of looking at it.
Okay, Doctor.
I think that's a great, but if you really think about it, it does talk about this season and this game. We kind of did fuck ourselves over, but holy shit, did we look great in certain scenarios?
Yeah,
and all
really hit.
I think that hits perfectly. So we'll have a full episode kind of talking. We'll probably talk some key games. We'll put in some points.
Who knows? Maybe Boopin will just be in his own world on that episode talking about next year.
Maybe Boopin will do a solo. I could do.
Prepared. I have a paragraph, and you fucking before
you know
I
what we
answer,
could do? We could just have a solo episode of one person giving their thoughts, and then we get back together and then talk about it. That'd be kind of sweet.
Or you should do the thing, put a headset on so you can't hear us, and then just try and mimic what you're saying. Like guess the question from the
you can
lips
just take your
moving.
headset off.
The other thing I was honestly thinking is, when can we actually meet for an in-person episode? There would have to be some workaround, because I need to figure out the logistics in that, like what computer to take and all this other stuff. But we can talk about that some other time. But we hope you guys have been enjoying our conversations. As far as prediction is concerned, Miller is the only one that guessed correctly that
we're not gonna
Bears
just give him any credit. We're not gonna. He picked the Bears to win. Shut up. We're not talking about this.
15-5 on the year, ladies and gentlemen. You can call me next year if you want to know what your pick is. I'll be right again.
Fucking traitor is what I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you a fucking traitor. That's what
Can I just say, my picks though were a lot of fun this year, in the sense that at the beginning of the year,
a lot?
No,
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was leading the way. What do you mean?
Until you, I think
until I got confident.
I don't think you ever was leading. I think
yes,
I was
leading
for a while.
He was.
I led for 2 weeks in a row. I led for 2 weeks in a row.
And then he's like lost 4 after that.
And then you know what I said? I said the Bears are good. And then I started picking the Bears, and then they lose. I'm gonna try to find something where we can do that. But I was gonna say my predictions were so much fun, because in the preseason I had them going on these amazing loss streaks and win streaks, and it kind of mirrored the season. And then when we picked the Eagles game, and I was the lone one that I had a great time picking this year compared to other years. So I'm glad we get to do that. I really want to do it again, where we do preseason, and then when we do we do predictions before the preseason, and then we do predictions before the week 1. Also, I do want to point it out, NFL, if you're listening, week 1 Monday Night Football, Bears Packers at Soldier Field. Make it happen. I think that would be the game of the week, or the game to start the season. Obviously, Thursday goes to the champions. I get that. But we can have a whole new like handshake gate. See how that goes with the 2 coaches. You know what I mean? LaFleur signed his extension.
Hopefully we're not the Peru game this year.
It'll either be Bears Patriots or Bears Broncos. I think is like one of up in the running to be that Friday game, probably somewhere internationally.
Speaking of the other games, we have 2 games remaining, and then the final superb owl. Rams and Seahawks playing in Seattle. Seahawks are 2.5 favorite. Over under is 47.5. Patriots at Denver. The Patriots are favored -5.5. Over under is 41.5. Biggest news out there being that Bo Nix is out for the season. Broke his ankle, which I didn't even see it in the last 2 plays, because one of them he needed, but I think even a player jumped on top of him or something like that, from what I saw. Boys, quick predictions. What do you guys think for either game? You can do both if you want. I have no horse in this race, so I'm intrigued to hear what you guys think.
I think it's going to be a Rams versus, I think I just got to say Patriots Super Bowl.
I want to see the Rams spanked by Seattle. That'd make me happy.
McVay's got Darnold's number, bro. Take it to the bank.
I don't know. And Bravel, I want to see him lose. Hopefully Sean Payne figures out how to fucking make him lose.
I have Seattle Patriots going, but I would not be surprised if the 49ers pull out the
Rams.
The
49ers got eliminated.
I'm sorry, the 49ers. They're in the California area. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams pulled an upset. Also, if you guys were on the Twitter sphere or X sphere, there's already a clip out there. Ben Johnson's already telling the Rams coach to go out and win it. There was no handshake gate there, but also I always forget his name. It's Sean something. The head coach for the Rams gives props to Allen for his defense, where he said that they had his number. So that was pretty cool to see. Boys, that's basically the episode. a couple things that I want to point out. I think what I am going to do next year or next season is we are going to bring back reactions. So I think we're going to do live reactions for the game. I think that's going to be something
Hopefully we don't
interesting.
have any and it's just happy.
Maybe we'll see, but I think that's going to be the next thing. Also, when the Superb Owl is over, we will be on a condensed schedule. We will be talking about other sports. Other sports being, it would have been great to talk about today, but Jonathan Taves makes his comeback to the United Center tonight. Already, it was awesome to see on Twitter. They had a whole banner, the fan made banner, pop up there, and the Cubs and the White Sox will be doing they've done major moves as much as people don't want to give credit to the White Sox. The White Sox, they did a big international signing, and so we'll be doing a condensed schedule, and then I think a little bit before training camp. Oh, we'll do a draft special too. Maybe we'll go live for the draft special. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can.
Let's just do one show a week. Keep going.
Miller is not gonna like when he likes his break. That's
I like my break.
I think we'll do 2 shows in a month, and then if Miller wants to join, great. If not, I'm pretty sure we can talk, and maybe I can have some people come and we can talk to them. We'll make it as much as fun as possible.
People need to go. Wrap it up.
Oh, well, I guess I'll go fuck myself then. Miller, send us home.
Thank you for listening. This Bears season was one for the ages and one to remember forever. Thank you for joining us along the way. This is the Trio of Positivity. We love you. Bye!
Bear claw, baby.